expected now. We thought it might be June or July. It's likely to be September or October. Some Democrats in Congress, Nancy Pelosi and Harry Reid, would be two of them, say that the 14th Amendment actually allows the president to issue new debt over and above the debt ceiling, because Section 4 says the validity of public debt shall not be questioned. It goes to show just how alienated they are from the text and the structure and the original understanding of the Constitution, that they would make that argument that I would say is exactly the opposite of what that amendment requires, which is it requires the honoring of that debt. The validity of the debt shall not be questioned means that if you have debt, if it's issued, you can't issue new debt, but it has to be paid. If you don't pay it, you get to go to the Court of Federal Claims or whatever alternate world we live in before the Court of Federal Claims is set up, and you get your interest and your principal back. But to say that the president has that authority explicitly disregards the very basic structure of that amendment. Section 5, for instance, says what? Not that the president can enforce it, but that Congress can enforce it. In Article 1, who gets to borrow money on the credit of the United States? Not the president, it's the Congress. It's like right up there at the very top of Article 1. And finally, it's a statute, after all. And what do we all know about statutory construction on constitutional questions? They're always presumed valid. And you'll do anything to interpret them to be valid. Yet we have congressmen and senators who are totally alienated from the original meaning of the Constitution and totally disregarded, who have the attitude, are you serious? And saying that it means the opposite, the exact opposite of what it actually says. Fortunately, President Obama, through his spokesman, said back in February when this was being debated initially that he did not have that. So, what does it all mean? Well, it means that there's not enough of us in Congress, and we need more. And you can see just over the last 4 months what a guy like Ted Cruz has been able to do in the United States Senate. Woo! 2 years ago, you can see what a guy like Mike Lee has been able to do in the United States Senate. And although we're not quite as high profile as senators are, that's what people like me, people like Ron DeSantis, people like Jim Jordan in the House try to accomplish as well, whether it's on TV or whether it's working inside the conference. What does that mean? That means we need to get more people like that elected. And I know a lot of you work to do that through your time, or through volunteer legal work, or through your money, and that's very good. We also, I think, need to trust the people. Big government is not very popular. I saw it on my campaign all the time. It's not like my Democratic opponent wanted to defend big government. The Constitution is very popular. My opponents in a debate thought I committed a gaffe when I said that gridlock is just the left-wing term for separation of powers. I, for 3 months after that debate, never once heard a single person criticize me for that. In fact, several people came up to me and said that they liked it so much that they had started using it on their own Twitter account or at their workplace or in the debates that they had in their families. The Constitution is very popular. This is something I think that's very healthy about the Tea Party, is you had kind of a spontaneous uprising of American citizens who were dedicated in part to restoring the foundations of constitutional government. That government should be limited, that enterprise should be free. There were all equal Americans with equal rights, entitled to equal dignity and equal opportunities in our society. And I still see it in my town halls today. Yeah, I get asked about this or that policy a lot, but I also get asked about, what are you doing about the president's executive orders that actually make law as opposed to apply law for the executive branch. So we can elect more people that think like us. We trust the people to do so, and you can keep doing the work you do to help do both of those things. So I appreciate you inviting me. I'm glad to be here to speak with you, and now take a few questions, as long as they're easy.